everybody. We've been showing you pictures from Occupy Wall Street in San Francisco, the movement picking up steam day by day across America. And Republican presidential candidate Buddy Roemer is throwing his support behind the Occupy Wall Street movement. The former governor of Louisiana urged lawmakers to listen to the protesters' message in a recent YouTube ad. Listen.
All the young Americans currently taking part in the Occupy Wall Street movement, please know that I stand by you. This is an American as a civil rights march. This is an American as a revolution. The young people are speaking. We ought to listen.
Presidential candidate Buddy Roemer live on set with me now. Sir, it's nice to have you here. Why does this movement resonate with you so much?
I'm 68. I lived through the civil rights movement in the Deep South, where I was a proud native son in Louisiana. I went to college and lived through the Vietnam protest. I know the power of young people, and the lessons that I learned is that when people get involved, you ought to listen. And that's all I'm asking my Republican colleagues to do. Go to Occupy Wall Street and listen to them. Some of them are off in left field, some of them are misguided, but all of them are concerned about an America that they worry about their future in. Listen, Republicans.
Are you frustrated by the fact that you haven't been able to get on that stage for these debates?
I'm so frustrated. You know, I've been out of politics 20 years. I built $1 billion bank with these hands and this mind. No bailout money, very profitable. We didn't foreclose on a single homeowner. It can be done right. And this message ought to be given in a Republican debate. As I told you, I'm the only person running who's been a congressman and a governor, and I can't get invited to the debate. I'm surprised by that.
When you were listening to the president's speech right here with me, talking to the American Latino Heritage Forum, you were shaking your head. You agree with him. And you're proud of the fact that he says we're not going to take no for an answer.
He's our president. He's our leader. If he won't fight for jobs, who will? And we can't wait till the next election. It's a year and a half off until we get a new president or we get a revised president. Look, we're in trouble as a nation. I'm proud to be a Republican, but I'm prouder to be an American. It's time to come together, help small business grow, be energy independent, and stop unfair trade with China. That's the issue.
That was a big issue that came up last night. Some people saying the fact that we don't want to start a trade war with China. However, you feel that we're already in a trade war with China. We're just letting them win and get away with it. What were some other highlights? Who were some other people that stood out to you last night in watching your opponents?
That's a tough question for me to answer. I call it Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and I shouldn't say that. But these are mostly politicians and lawyers and corporate executives. I think the answer is with the people. Listen to Occupy Wall Street. You know what they're saying? No one went to jail on Wall Street after billions were fleeced. Trillions were taken from the taxpayers. Documents of mortgages were proven to be illegal. The rating agencies were paid off by the Wall Street banks. They got bailed out. They eliminated Glass-Steagall. Other than that, everything is copacetic.
And you're the only one that's been down to Occupy Wall Street so far. GOP presidential hopeful, that is.
That's right.
That's right. All right, Republican presidential candidate, former Louisiana Governor Buddy Roemer. Great to see you, buddy. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Occupy Wall Street demonstrators in New York today. Not only is he a Republican, he's also a former bank CEO. He's not the gentleman you'd expect to support those guys. Buddy Roemer joins me now. So, sir, you joined Occupy Wall Street. Why?
I did. Well, I went down to see what they were doing, to listen. Now, I know that's rare for a politician, actually listening. I wanted to see why they were there, because I loved your questions to Harrison. Those are questions that need to be worked out. Not only why are we there, but how do we handle ourselves? And going to private homes, scaring people, I don't think that's a good idea. If those people lived in a public home, like a president at the White House or the mayor at wherever the mayor lives, it's good to protest. Every time I go to the White House when I was a congressman, Reagan was the president, and there were protesters all around it. That's fair. That's public property. But the issue that intrigued me is the reason I run for president. I think Washington, D.C. and the decision makers are bought and sold by special interest money. In fact, 4 years ago for president, more money was given by the lobbyists and PACs in Washington to John McCain and Barack Obama than 32 states combined. And the reason you have such crony capitalism, that's a good way to put it.
Which is essentially socialism.
Well, it's essentially, exactly, except it's for the few.
That's right.
It's not for the many. It's just the opposite. It's for the few who've given the big checks. I'm the only guy running for president who's been a member of Congress. I'm the only, and governor of his state, and built a bank 2/3 of $1 billion in size. No bailout money, profitable bank. We're not in the political business. We're in the jobs business. And I think America's in trouble, Liz. And I think the reason it's in trouble is that we're now run by 1 or 2% of the big cats and the corporate interest. And their interests are not the same thing as the average American. Now, how do we change it? I would regulate and disclose the money given to politicians. Here's what I've done. I accept no PAC money. I didn't as governor. I didn't as congressman. The only congressman not to take it. I put a $100 limit, and I have a full disclosure. Now, what does that say?
Would you limit it? And by the way, President Obama got a lot of his money from internet donations. Some of them,
did.
you know, seemingly
it was
anonymous.
The best part of his campaign. I really liked
so
that.
Even if, in other words, if you try to crack down on this, what you're suggesting, there are ways to get around it.
Under Obama's rules.
Correct.
But not under Roemer's rules. We fully disclose every dollar with a name and address. I got a contribution.
But let me just back up.
Okay. I was going to tell you a funny story about I got
go ahead.
a contribution today on Wall Street. It was $1. I said, I can't take it. And this little old guy said, well, I want to give you. I like your campaign. I like your guts for being here. And I said,
terrific.
okay, give me your name, address, and phone number, and we'll wrap it around the dollar bill, and we'll take.
But quickly, why would any company hire under this environment when the government's going to take half of the money that you earn via taxes, especially after health reform kicks in?
They should.
Isn't that the root of the problem?
The cost
Shouldn't
of doing
the protest
business
should
in
be
America,
in Washington?
It should be in Washington.
Okay.
But Wall Street is connected. You know why? Wall Street has bought Washington, Liz.
I hear you.
Understand that. They're the same.
Listen, we've been reporting on this.
You know who the president's job advisor is?
We understand
the CEO of GE.
We understand.
They gave $4 million to politicians last time. They paid no taxes.
Okay, Governor, we get it. You know what? Fox Business is one of the few media outlets who are reporting both sides of the issue, and we've been all over the Wall Street Washington connection. But we appreciate you coming on tonight,
I've heard your comments. They're excellent.
Thank you so much, Governor.